Next up, ForgeBox module of the week. And Brad, were you
We
in
got
Grant's
CB.
session?
No, I don't think I was. Because I saw Scott Steinbeck's session on AI stuff, and I think Grant's might have been in the other room
Yeah, I was in
into the
it.
box.
I was there, so I was like, I didn't think you were there because basically, if
No,
you were
I
in
would
one
have.
room, I had to be in the other room. It was just,
Yeah, I would
yeah,
have liked to have seen it. Scott's AI session was awesome. He had a really good, like, just kind of history of the overview of the progression of like the actual libraries and what they do. Um, but yeah, so Grant had a library called CBOpenAI. So it's a module that provides a simple API to access OpenAI's variety of AI service.
yep,
And it looks like we have a link to his presentation,
yep, which
and
I'm
then
showing.
the AI will kill us all, Grant. The module itself is on Box of the Forge. Um,
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting because he talked about, you know, text generation, image of a media responding to prompts, and so he talks about a different thing like the AO playground, and then how this sort of steps in. So it does some pretty cool things. Create completions, chat completions, create images, image variations, and then if you look through, he's got some code in there giving the prompt, and prompt engineering is a thing, so get up with speed. But he did talk about this, and we'll have the video up in CFcast soon. But yeah, you can see what comes back from the the core using CBOpenAI, chat
Nice.
completion
So,
options.
are we using this on the Ortus Chat GPT?
No, we're not. This is just using the API
Wah,
directly. We're
wah.
using the module. We built ChatGPT before Grant built this, but Grant and I were the ones who were working together on the ChatGPT stuff, and so that was a good separate sort of enterprise.
So,
But we
so,
could update it to use this and use the
so,
API.
so this would allow you to bypass the Python libraries that we use for the Chat GPT stuff,
Yeah, this directly interfaces
right?
with
To open it, yeah.
OpenAI, but we don't have all the LangChain stuff that we're using, top secret. I think you're in Scotsman, you
Uh,
would have heard. But LangChain's an open source library that helps you communicate better with the LLMs. It gives you ways to like merge different embeddings and agents together, and gives you chains of things, and so it can give you a lot more. This one you'd have to build a lot of that sort of stuff yourself, which you can. The OpenAI APIs are really great for that. And the idea with this one is that this is OpenAI, and we're gonna try and do similar things with like Bard from Google and some of the other ones. And so, it's a good one here. But if you can see, he's basically trying to generate a dog in a hat or whatever. I think that's what it was. If we go back, was it a dog with a funny hat was the create image prompt, and then basically it output that.
so
So
we need to update our Ortus Chat GPT to start using this then. Get that
yeah,
LangChain stuff
they
added in.
also have a TypeScript version of the LangChain stuff as well. So if you don't want to use the Python, but Python is where all the development is. That's where everyone in the AI world lives in Python. So that was the first thing. But yeah, there's a whole TypeScript piece, and then you can interact with the APIs directly yourself. But some of the cool things you get from the LangChain, open source stuff, you won't have available there. But it's still
So
pretty cool.
we need some clients out there looking to do some AI integrations to come work with Ortus so we can get some funding to finish fleshing out this module is what I hear.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, and the thing is, like, this case study here, Grant actually showed of a real client project, like they did all this work to fix a bunch of like poor titles and SEO descriptions and everything else, bad grammar, misspellings, and OpenAI. Basically, it worked out to be $30, like less, basically a cent per product is what it cost to fix all those things. So they got better product descriptions, they're more readable, longer descriptions, convincingly human, no misspellings and grammar issues, better SEO, meta keywords, and meta descriptions. And,
That's
basically
pretty cool.
in a day,
Was that an Ortus client?
that was an Otis client. Grant worked on
Dang.
it. And so that's why it's this.
We have so many silos going on at Ortus. I don't even know what people are working on sometimes. That's awesome. I wish I
Yeah.
could have seen this session now.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Well, hey,
basically,
it'll be on CFcast soon, won't it?
it will for sure. And so, yeah, but open the CB OpenAI, get a taste of what it's doing, and obviously can contribute back to that one, make it better, and then we can try to make similar ones for some of the other pieces. But yeah, with like there's lots of different things you can use and tie into, and so it's kind of neat, But the only thing is, Brad, with the OpenAI API interface, like we can't do vectorizing in the API yet, any of that other stuff. So we trained our stuff, so we'd have to basically create a vector and then pass the vector through the API
When you
stuff.
say a vector, what do you mean?
Vector database is the way they store the AI probabilities. They basically, you take text, which are like essentially groups of words and punctuation. They break them down to tokens. Each token is then mathematically calculated to be probability of following and preceding other things, and essentially it's this weird vector database, and that's how it's all stored. And so when you do when you enter something in, you basically query the vector database to find similar things or probability wise might show up. Then you send that and your prompt all the way back to OpenAI or whatever you're using with the pieces of the vector database, and then it uses that to figure out the response and then generates the text to try to make it sound good. So yeah, so basically these are little simple things. If you want to like say, hey, here's 23 autos get books and we want you to use this to figure out a response, that would be a lot more work, because you don't want to be passing all of that content to OpenAI over the API, because you use a ton of tokens, and it'll be a whole lot more than a few dollars for some questions and answers. But
right. All right. So
yeah.
somebody out there needs to come hire Ortis to do some AI stuff so we can keep fleshing this out.
Yeah, it's super cool.
We build a lot of stuff in our free time, but the reality is a lot of the libraries that we built are actually because we have a client project and someone's paying us to, oops, I just hit my microphone. Someone's paying us to come, solve their problems, and out of that is where these open source modules spring from. So there's obviously a lot of places we can take this.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool. And if you guys aren't using Copilot in your code, or even the Copilot labs for asking questions, summarizing, expanding regexes so you know what the heck they mean, there's a lot of cool things out there where AI can help you. Just remember, it's generating text based on probability. So a lot of times it figures out what the function name should be for your language, but if they're like ColdFusion, they never write. But maybe you could use them to figure out what you should be naming things. So maybe we should do that with our ColdBox stuff. Like, what should we be naming our functions?
Oh gosh, don't do that. ColdBox 8 will rename everything again.
Maybe. Anyway, so that is our ForgeBox module of the week. CBOpenAI. Go play with some chat. Go generate some images and have some fun. That was our ForgeBox module of the week, brought to you by Modernize or Die Podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Order Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Order Solutions YouTube channel.